photographs and memories, Christmas cards you sent to me. All that I have are these to remember you. Memories that come at night take me to another time, back to a happier day when I called you mine. But we sure had a good time when we started way back when. Morning walks and bedroom talks, oh how I loved you then. Summer skies and lullabies, nights we couldn't say goodbye, and of all of the things that we knew, not a dream survived. Photographs and memories, all the love you gave to me, somehow it just can't be true. It's all I've left of you. But we sure had a good time when we started way back when. Morning walks and bedroom talks, oh how I loved you then.
Uptown got its hustlers, Bowery got its bums, 42nd Street got Big Jim, a Walker, he pool shooting son of a gun. Yeah, he big and dumb as a man can come, but he's stronger than a country horse. And when the bad folks all get together at night, you know they all call Big Jim boss, just because. They say you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't speed into the wind, you don't pull the mask off old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. But out of South Alabama come a country boy. He said, I'm looking for a man named Jim. I am a fool shooting boy, my name is Willie McCoy, but down at home they call me Slim. Yeah, I'm looking for the king of 42nd Street. He drive on a drop-top Cadillac. Last week he took all my money, and it may sound funny, but I come to get my money back. And everybody say, Jack, don't you know that you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't speed into the wind, you don't pull the mask off old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. Well, a hush fell over the pool room as Jimmy come bopping in an awful street. And when the cutting was done, the only part that wasn't bloody was the soles of the big man's feet. Yeah, he was cutting about 100 places, and he was shot in a couple more. And you better believe it sung a different kind of story when the Big Jim hit the floor. They sing you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't speed into the wind, you don't pull the mask off old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Slim. Yeah, Big Jim got his hat. Find out where it's at is not hustling people strange to you, even if you do got a two-piece custom-made pool cue. You don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't speed into the wind, you don't pull the mask off old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Slim. Operator, could you help me place this call? You see the number on the matchbook is old and faded. She's living in L.A. with my best old ex-friend Ray. Gosh, she said she knew well and sometimes hated. Isn't that the way they say it goes? But let's forget all that and give me the number if you can't find it, so I can call just to tell him I'm finding the show. Overcome the blow, learn to take it well. Only wish my words could just convince myself that it just wasn't real, but that's not the way it feels. Operator, or could you help me place this call? 'Cause I can't read the number that you just gave me. There's something in my eyes, you know it happens every time. Think about the Lord that I thought would save me. Isn't that the way they say it goes? But let's forget all that and give me the number if you can't find it, so I can call just to tell him I'm finding the show. Overcome the blow, learn to take it well. I only wish my words could just convince myself that it just wasn't real, but that's not the way it feels. No, 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 that's not the way it feels. Operator, oh, let's forget about this call. There's no one there I really wanted to talk to. So thank you for your time. Oh, you've been so much more than kind. You can keep the dime. Isn't that the way they say it goes? Well, let's forget all that and give me the number if you can't find it, so I can call just to tell him I'm finding the show. I overcome the blow, learn to take it well. I only wish my words could just convince myself that it just wasn't real, but that's not the way it feels.
You know, up until last year, most of my musical experience was centered around bar rooms, country and western bars, kind of places you see in movies like Easy Rider, with 3 or 4 chrome-plated pickup trucks sitting out front, a rifle rack in the back window. And you get up on a stage to play and they have you surrounded by chicken wire so that you don't get injured by beer bottles and flying pitchers as all this stuff is going on. I met a lot of characters in these places, and a lot of them I ended up putting into songs. This is a song about a woman who I met one night. I was sitting down playing, and she was sitting about 10 feet away from me, and every time I watched her clap, I could see the fat under her arm jiggling back and forth like that. It was a beautiful sight. I knew that I had to write a tune about her. So I started talking to her. It turned out that she came from Texas, and she used to be in a roller derby. So I knew right then that anybody that heavy and that small, I had to have a tune written about her. We don't usually do it at home because her husband's a state trooper, and he could really, really mess up a nice day, I think, if he got upset. So we're going to do it here, though. It's called I Fell in Love with the Roller Derby Queen.
Gonna tell you a story that you won't believe, but I fell in love last Friday evening with the girl I saw on a barroom TV screen. Well, I was just getting ready to get my hair when she caught my eye.
high, and I put it back, and I ordered myself a couple of more shots and beers. The night that I fell in love with a roller derby queen, round and round, all round and round, the meanest hunk of woman that anybody ever seen. Down in the arena, she was 5'6", but 215, a bleached blonde bomber with a streak of mean. She knew how to knuckle and she knew how to scuffle and fight. And a roller derby program said that she was built like a refrigerator with a head. Her fans called her Tuffy, but all her buddies called her Spike. The night that I fell in love with a roller derby queen, around and round, all round and round, the meanest hunk of woman that anybody ever seen. Down in the arena. Not help it but to fall in love with this heavy-duty woman I've been speaking of. Things were kind of bad until the day she skated into my life. Well, she might be nasty, she might be fat, but I never met a person who could tell her that. She's my bleached blonde bomber, my heavy-handed hack-and-sack mama. The night that I fell in love with a roller derby queen, around and round, all round and round, the meanest hunk of woman that anybody ever seen. Down in the arena. Been running away from something we both know. We've long run out of things to say, and I think I better go. So don't be getting excited when you hear that slam on door, 'cause there'll be one less set of footsteps on your floor in the morning. And we've been hiding from something that should have never gone this far. But after all, it's what we've done that makes us what we are. And you've been talking in silence, well, if it's silence you adore, well, every one less set of footsteps on your floor in the morning. Well, every one less set of footsteps on your floor, one less voice a-talking, and one less pair of jeans upon your door, one less man to walk in. But tomorrow's a dream away, and today has turned to dust. Your silver tongue has turned to clay, and your golden rule to rust. If that's the way that you want it, well, that's the way I want it more. 'Cause there'll be one less set of footsteps on your floor in the morning. One less set of footsteps on your floor, one less voice a-talking, and one less pair of jeans upon your door, one less man to walk in. But tomorrow's a dream away, and today has turned to dust. Your silver tongue has turned to clay, and your golden rule to rust. If that's the way that you want it, well, that's the way I want it more. 'Cause there'll be one less set of footsteps on your floor in the morning. Yeah, there'll be one less set of footsteps on your floor in the morning. If you
feeling all alone, when your good time friends have all got up and gone, don't come knocking around my door, because I've heard your lines before. There ain't gonna be a next time this time, 'cause woman, starting right now, I'm gonna forget your name and your pretty face, girl, and write you off as a bad mistake. You know that some women, they are lovers, and some just got no sense. But a woman like you ought to be ashamed of the things that you do to men. And if you get to feeling all alone, when you find that you can't make it on your own, don't come knocking around my door. You see, I've seen your act before. There ain't gonna be a next time this time, 'cause woman, starting right now, I'm gonna forget your name and your pretty face, girl, and write you off as a bad mistake. You know that some women, they are lovers, and some just got no sense. But a woman like you ought to be ashamed of the things that you do to men. And if you get the feeling you were wrong, don't go wasting your good money in the phone, 'cause I can hang up as fast as you can call. That ain't all, 'cause there ain't gonna be a next time this time, 'cause woman, starting right now, I'm gonna forget your name and your pretty face, girl, and write you off as a complete disgrace. You know that some women, they are liars, and some just got no sense. But a woman like you ought to be ashamed of the things that you do to men. Yeah, a woman like you ought to be ashamed of the things that you do to men.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, I haven't been doing so much music as I have been a lot of other things. I've been driving a tractor trailer and a gravel truck, spending a lot of time sitting behind the wheel, like that. Like the lady in the roller derby song. But I spend a lot of time in truck stops, drinking a lot of coffee and just watching what goes down. And it's funny because most of the runs I would make wouldn't be, more than a day, so I was always back home. But some of these truck stops, you see guys pulling in that have been driving non-stop for maybe 2 or 3 days. Now that's really something to see. When you see them walking in like, with that kind of expression on their face, they've been up too long. They have a term that they call these things they get into called West Coast turnarounds, which are like directional aids, I suppose. You take one in New York and you drive out to California and turn around and drive right back all the time. They cut off a broomstick about that long and wedge it down on the throttle pedal and then against the seat, so you have an extra foot to move around and dance with or do whatever you want. It's a lot of fun. I think the truck drivers are really a good bunch of people. I know all the guys that I hang around with back home are truck drivers and guys I've worked with over the past few years. There's a story about truckers. One of them had gotten 1 million miles in cab truck. Now that's really a lot of driving. And a radio station was interviewing him. And they said, 1,000 hours, every couple weeks. I mean, people are logging time on a highway in these trucks. It's really amazing. And you have like 1 million miles in. That's about 15 or 20 years worth of driving. He says, yeah. He says, I've seen just about everything happen, too. He said, I've had bad weather. He says, I've slipped and slid off the highway. I've jackknifed, blown out back tires and front tires, lost my brakes. The radio station guy said, he said, let me just set up a situation so the people out there will know what kind of nerves and quick reflexes you guys all have. He said, sure. He said, suppose you're driving from Los Angeles into New York City and you come over the top peak of the Rockies. That's about 2:30.